Could we be witnessing one of the sport's biggest turnarounds? London Irish, once on the brink, might be saved, and England's potential move to the URC is shaking things up. Fans, pundits and players are debating what this means for the game. Could this be the dawn of a new era? Or is it a risky gamble that could backfire? Let's dive deep into the details. Could a once great team be making a comeback? A big change that might shake up European rugby? London Irish could return, and England's possible move to the URC has everyone talking. Is this the start of something exciting or a risky move?
Phipps goes again. Need to get this ball back, which they successfully do so. Rona, massive miss pass, should be a touchdown, and Irish...
London Irish, founded in 1898, is one of the oldest and most respected rugby clubs in England. Known for their green jerseys and passionate fan base, the Exiles have been a fixture in English rugby for over a century. Their history is rich with memorable moments, from their dominance in the early 2000s to producing legends like Topsy Oho and Delon Armitage. But did you know that rugby wasn't Armitage's first sport of choice? Growing up in San Fernando, Trinidad and Tobago, he spent his early years playing cricket in the streets with his brothers and extended family. Rugby only entered the picture after he moved to England at age 9. But at first, he hated it. The cold weather and rough physicality made it an unwelcome change from his familiar cricket games. Everything shifted when he joined Richmond's mini rugby setup, where the environment sparked his passion for the sport. Even then, his journey wasn't smooth. France's U16 team rejected him for being too tall and skinny, but instead of giving up, Armitage took his talents to England where he would prove them all wrong.
London Irish.
Position.
Wing.
Favorite color?
Red.
Are you scared of anything?
Not a big fan of snakes.
Sweet or savory?
Sweet.
London Irish has always been a symbol of resilience and community, with a strong connection to the Irish diaspora in London. However, recent years have been turbulent. Financial struggles, ownership changes, and suspension from the Premiership in 2023 left the club in a tricky position. The once proud Exiles were on the verge of disappearing altogether, leaving fans heartbroken and the rugby community in shock. The club's financial woes were worsened by the COVID-19 pandemic, which hit rugby clubs hard, and the subsequent economic downturn made it nearly impossible for London Irish to recover. By the summer of 2023, the club's future looked unclear. But did you know a veterinary surgeon helped shape London Irish's early success? Yes, Lewis McGee, an Irish international who was also a veterinary surgeon, played 27 times for the team. This not only strengthened the team, but also attracted key players. His influence led to regular matches against top London clubs like Blackheath and Saracens, setting the stage for the club's rise.
Get on with it. You know, the kids today don't want to see the jerseys that the lads wore 10 years ago. They want something different. The branding of the club, very important. These are all things that are being talked about. I love to see them being pushed on. I love to see evolution within the club.
On the other side of this story is the United Rugby Championship, URC, a competition that has undergone its own transformation in recent years. Originally formed as the Celtic League in 2001, the URC has evolved into a cross-hemisphere tournament featuring teams from Ireland, Scotland, Wales, Italy and South Africa. The inclusion of South African teams in 2021 was a game changer, elevating the league's profile and competitiveness. The league's ability to adapt and innovate has made it one of the most exciting competitions in world rugby, and the potential addition of English teams could take it to new heights. Ever wondered how the league has evolved with its sponsors over the years? From Magners and Rabodirect to Guinness, the league has seen various title sponsors. Today, it is backed by BKT and Vodacom, with strategic partnerships like Rock Nation expanding its reach.
The URC is back. 16 teams from 5 different nations battling for supremacy across 18 rounds of the most diverse and fastest scoring rugby tournament in the world.
The biggest moment that changed London Irish's history was their drop from the Premiership in 2023. After years of financial instability and on-field struggles, the Exiles were unable to secure their top-flight status, leading to a mass departure of players and staff. The club's future hung in the balance, with administrators scrambling to find a solution. This was a devastating blow to the club's identity and its fans, who had stuck by the team through thick and thin. The Exiles had always been a club with a strong sense of community, and the thought of losing that was almost too much to bear. But just when it seemed like all hope was lost, a new possibility emerged. One that could not only save London Irish, but also shake up the entire rugby landscape. News of London Irish's potential salvation and England's possible entry sent shockwaves through the rugby community. Reports suggest that investors are in advanced talks to buy the club and inject much-needed funds into its operations. This would not only secure London Irish's future, but also potentially pave the way for their inclusion in the URC. The move would be a first, as no English team has ever played in the league before. However, with the Premiership facing its own financial challenges and a crowded domestic calendar, the URC offers an attractive alternative for clubs looking to expand their horizons. The Premiership has been struggling with issues such as salary cap breaches, declining attendances, and the collapse of clubs like Wasps and Worcester Warriors. But how did a once thriving rugby club like Worcester Warriors collapse so disastrously? Worcester Warriors fell due to financial mismanagement, mounting debt, and external pressures like COVID-19. Co-owners Jason Whittingham and Colin Goldring were blamed for poor decision and wage delays for players and staff. By September 2022, the club entered administration, was suspended from competitions, and by October all contracts were terminated. Worcester's fragmented ownership complicated recovery efforts, and a controversial takeover in 2023 led to plans for rebranding and merging with Stourbridge RFC, sparking backlash. Their collapse, alongside the Wasps, exposed deeper financial flaws in English rugby, prompting urgent calls for reform to prevent more clubs from facing a similar fate.
Simpson on there to Venter. Here's Searle. Chilcock out to her. Carreras comes across and makes a good tackle. There's Kitchener. Searle. Lawrence. Short ball there to Venter. Venter inside to Simpson.
The URC, on the other hand, has been thriving with its innovative approach and global appeal. For London Irish, joining the URC could be a lifeline, providing a fresh start and a new direction. The reaction on social media has been nothing short of explosive. Fans of London Irish are cautiously optimistic, with many taking to Twitter to express their relief and excitement. Others have been more sceptical, questioning how the logistics of such a move would work. How would an English team fit into the URC? The travel alone would be a nightmare, commented one user. Meanwhile, supporters of other URC teams have been quick to weigh in, with some welcoming the idea of fresh competition and others concerned about the impact on the league's structure. Imagine having to play the London Irish one week and the Sharks the next. That's next level rugby, tweeted a South African fan. The debate has been fierce, with opinions divided on whether this move would be a masterstroke or a misstep. The potential inclusion of England in the URC raises a host of questions. How would the league accommodate additional teams? What would it mean for the Premiership and the Champions Cup? And most importantly, would this move benefit the sport as a whole? Supporters argue that it would create a more competitive and diverse league, attracting new fans and sponsors. Critics, however, worry about the logistical challenges and the potential dilution of traditional rivalries. The travel demands would be significant, with teams potentially having to fly from London to Cape Town in the space of a few weeks. There are also concerns about player welfare, with the already grueling rugby calendar becoming even more demanding. On the other hand, the financial benefits could be substantial, with increased TV revenue and sponsorship deals. The URC has already shown that it can attract a global audience, and the addition of English teams could take this to the next level. As for London Irish, the prospect of joining the URC could be a lifeline. The club has a proud history and a loyal fan base, but it needs a fresh start. Competing in a new league would give the Exiles the opportunity to rebuild and redefine themselves. It would also provide a platform for young English talent to test themselves against some of the best teams in the world. For a club that has been through so much, this could be the beginning of a new chapter. The URC's format, which includes teams from multiple countries, would also give London Irish a unique identity, setting them apart from other English clubs. It could also help to attract new fans, both in the UK and abroad, as the club becomes part of a truly global competition. The URC's format, with regional pools and a single league table, is inspired by the NFL's divisional structure. This allows for intense derby matches within countries while maintaining a competitive league across different nations.
18 regular season games, 9 at home and 9 away. After 18 games, the top 8 teams will qualify for the...
The rugby world is no stranger to change, but this potential development feels different. It's not just about one club or one league, it's about the future of the sport. Could this be the start of a new era where boundaries are blurred and the game becomes truly global? Or is it a step too far, risking the traditions and rivalries that make rugby so special? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain. All eyes will be on London Irish and the URC in the coming months. The decisions made now could shape the future of rugby for decades to come. Will this be a bold new chapter or a cautionary tale? The stakes could not be higher.
Peter the breakdown.
Near Jackson and then Meeks, and it's opening up here, and he's got Rona outside, and Rona creates history. The first try in their sparkly new home for London Irish, scored by Kirk.
So, what's your take? Is this a game changer for London Irish and English rugby? Could the URC become the most thrilling league in the world with English teams in the mix? Drop your thoughts in the comments. And if you love staying ahead of the biggest rugby stories, hit that subscribe button and check out our last video on the shocking Italy rugby news that's turning heads. The rugby world is evolving fast and you don't want to be left behind. Whether you're a die-hard fan or just here for the drama, this is one ride you won't want to miss.